if we can also then go straight on in that case to skin problems. I saw one of your testimonial letters out there saying you were absolutely wonderful at solving skin problems, including acne.
Well, for one thing, the easy cure is just try not to eat chocolate.
Fair enough, right?
Okay. The other thing is you have a zinc deficiency. The third thing is you need to take vitamin A. Those are the ones that will prevent them. I won't take Accutane because they tend to cause a lot of side effects. Not short term. I'm talking about long term throughout the whole entire life.
Mm-hmm.
It affects your body genes expression.
Okay, fine. But taking you wouldn't rub on DMSO or anything like that.
No.
Not for acne.
Just take less sweets also.
Okay,
because bacteria needs them to grow.
Right. And then the big one for a lot of people, sleeping problems.
Sleeping problem is caused by acidic blood because 90% of our food is basically acidic. So try to take baking soda will help you sleep. But also I found that most people, humans, every walks of life, they're deficient in vitamin B3, nicotinamide, niacinamide, not niacin. We'll talk about niacinamide. There's a big difference. Niacinamide or nicotinamide helps you sleep because basically it's a natural form of Valium. Valium was invented because they try to imitate the B3. But why take Valium? You can take B3. You take 500 milligrams at night, it will help you sleep.
500 milligrams?
Yeah.
That sounds like quite a lot. It's quite a chunky pill then.
But we need a lot more than you think. But that's the minimum to get you to sleep.
So
you have most people have a deficiency.
So vitamin B3, nicotinamide, plus some baking soda. Half a teaspoon of baking soda.
Yeah, that will prevent most of the
there's
headaches.
a non-addictive sleeping pill.
Yes.
That doesn't make you feel drowsy and horrible in the morning.
You get recharged.
And a very easy thing to test. Again,
yes.
You get a classic one for compare progress. Now, I used to sleep 4 hours a night and feel 60% awake in the morning. Now after this, whatever happens. But it's a nice, easy, measurable thing.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. The last main problem I'd like to look at is older people's brain power and memory. A lot of people, at this very time they're succeeding in life, find their brain power and their memory slipping away from them. What can be done to save us this?
Well, the brain power being low is basically very simple. It's caused by a hormone deficiency. Now, I'm not talking about HCG or all those hormones being promoted because they tend to cause cancer. The ones that anti-cancer is not promoted because that's a very reason why they don't promote them, because they don't help cancer. It prevents cancer. It's pregnant alone. It's number one. Some DHEA is number two. Especially pregnant alone and progesterone. I use just pregnant alone as my most important supplements to prevent the condition, and some nootropics such as pyricetam and Nutripil. Pyricetam or Nutripil, that's the same name. And the other one is hydrogen. If you add these three things, it becomes a very powerful brain stimulator. So pregnant alone is the element. I call it the grandmother of all hormones, because pregnant alone is need to produce all the hormones, including some unknown hormones produced by the brain. I use that for brain recovery, for coma recovery also.
Now you've actually done this, have you? You've actually recovered people from comas using pregnant alone?
Yes, I do.
Wow. Okay. I'm not quite sure how many people are going to test that one, but it's...
just memory disorder.
Memory and also speed of thinking as well, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, fine. We may come back to that later on, but this will do for the moment. Now, three quick things. Ted would like Ted to tell us a little bit about deuterium and why we should stay away from water that has been desalinated. I've heard that spring water's better and rainwater's best of all, but I never really understood why.
Well, we'll just start with the basic first. Why do farmers wait for rain when they have plenty of groundwater? Well, basically, deuterium is depleted in rainwater. And once the deuterium is depleted, the plants grow a lot faster. Within 48 hours, they're growing very fast because once the deuterium depleted, it's like in the situation of the opposite. Okay, let's say we're having a lot of heavy water. We're drinking a lot of heavy water. Heavy water are contained in nuclear reactors. They slow down the processes. But if you slow down the biological process, the plants doesn't grow. The animals doesn't live that long. They live very short, but they don't grow as fast. So it affects all beings, and they found in virtually every water, especially those water that are found in salt water. They're very high in those because all the light water, basically light water is deuterium depleted. They evaporate out, leaving the deuterium back in the salt water. So salt water contains a lot of deuterium. So if you drink desalinized water, you get a very high amounts of deuterium in the water, making your life short and become very basically diabetic. I've seen a lot of diabetes become diabetic and become cancerous after drinking these kind of water. So that's why, and that's why mountain people have long life because they rely on water from glaciers and rainwater, and that's why mountain people such as Hansas live very long. They're taking a lot of deuterium depleted water from the rain.
And you told me also that deuterium freezes at a higher temperature
Yes.
than ordinary water.
Ordinary water freezes at 0 degrees Celsius, and deuterium freezes at 3.8 degrees Celsius, and they don't evaporate as easily. In all water, they always contain deuterium. Deuterium is like this. The hydrogen part of the element in our H2O it can be either podium, which is pure H hydrogen atom, or deuterium, which has one proton and one deuterium, one neutron. We call it deuterium, or tritium, which is not found in nature. So we end up with this protium and deuterium in our water, and so we call them deuterium. They're like water. They're almost exactly the same. You can drink that, but if you drink 100% solution of deuterium, they look exactly like water. You can get killed within a day just drinking water.
Because it slows and stops all the
biological process.
So Trevor was explaining, and this is something I heard ages ago, but never really understood why. If you want to make light water, you take a bucket of water, put it in a freezer, chest freezer, until it's half frozen, and then knock a hole in the top, pour that water out, and then do the same again. So when it's half frozen, pour that water out. And then the quarter that's left is very, very good drinking water. Apparently it gets rid of hangovers and all sorts of things. And now I understand the reason for it, because the deuterium is freezing first.
Yes.
So what you're ending up with is virtually deuterium-free water.
Yes.
Fascinating.
But another thing is kids like to suck on popsicles because the water that doesn't freeze is actually deuterium-like water.
Okay, right. So that's that one. Quick one on toothpaste, please.
Toothpaste, you want to avoid absolutely the fluoride because you hear about the commercials about having protection against cavities by taking fluoride. But the major element that protects against cavities is actually molybdenum and vanadium. Those help remineralization of the teeth. So there's not a formula right now in the market that has that. We just have to prepare them ourselves, or you can just simply avoid fluoride altogether by taking herbal toothpaste.
And is vanadium and molybdenum actually harmless to people?
Yes, they're essential elements in the human nutrition.
Okay, fine.